Yoga blocks are yogi's best friend. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, yoga blocks can really help you unlock a whole new level of your practice and help you get more safely into a lot of different poses. So join me, I'll take you through a wonderful flow to illustrate. Hi, my name is Katja Cahoon. I'm a yoga teacher and psychotherapist, and this is my Yoga Blocks for Beginners class. Although it's not just for beginners, because I think yoga blocks are great for anyone and really increase our ability to get into different poses and do so safely. So let's get started. And we are going to start in mountain pose. Take your blocks with you. So mountain pose. We come to a nice, balanced, grounded pose. Hips tilted forward a little bit, thighs are strong, shoulders up, back and down. And just take a couple of breaths to ground yourself, arrive here, get settled. Just get yourself into the yoga space for today. And then inhale your arms with your blocks up. Exhale, fold forward and put your blocks down, maybe medium height. Depending on your flexibility, maybe you do the highest height, maybe you do it a little bit lower, or maybe you can touch the mat. The point here is that you can really get into the hamstring stretch instead of rounding your back too much. So you kind of want to keep a straight back here. That's the wonderful thing about blocks. They help you maintain good integrity and alignment. Step your right leg back into a lunge. And again here, take your blocks with you. Use them at a height that feels good. And what you can see here, I have a nice line in my back. I can really stretch the hip flexor and the hips here. And I'm not collapsing onto my legs. So that's fantastic. All right, notice that, and then straighten your front leg into pyramid pose. You might have to step your back foot forward a little bit. And again, you can use your blocks at any height. This is an amazing hamstring stretch. And now you can see I'm maintaining that nice integrity. And as I use my breathing, which is so powerful in yoga, I can inhale to lengthen and then exhale, lower down a little bit. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, lower down, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, maybe eventually I'll reach the mat. So this might take you a couple of classes, don't give up. Bring your back heel down and put your hand on your left block behind your left foot. We're moving into triangle. And then just open up. Open your hips up to the ceiling, reach toward the ceiling, and then adjust the height that you need. And here the key thing is you want a straight line. You want to stretch both sides of your body. So don't collapse down. You want that nice line, and then see if with your exhale you can move a little deeper and a little deeper as you go along. Beautiful. And then come back forward into that pyramid stretch. Bring your back knee down. Now we're in a low lunge. Bring your right arm up, stretch up. You can also lift your right leg, and we're doing a twist on a block. Again, you can adjust to any height. Beautiful. Bring that leg down again, arm down. Move your blocks to the inside of your left foot. Move your left foot a little to the outside. Maybe widen a little bit. Bring your blocks to the lowest height just to try, and see if you can bring your elbows onto your blocks. Hey there. And then breathe and relax down. Use your exhale again to get deeper into that pose. And maybe you can move one block, maybe you can move both blocks, but maybe not today. Maybe today you just stay like that. All right. Come back up, and we're moving into a mini half Hanuman, half split. So you just move back, your hip is over your knee, really easy. Flip your foot up and maybe even pull it back, really flex here. And then use your blocks to move forward a little bit. Don't do that rounding because we don't want to stretch our back. We really want to feel that in our hamstrings. And maybe you can do a little bit more. Or maybe right now you are here. This is okay. You're still getting in stretch and you're maintaining integrity, and you can see how the blocks really help you with that. And now you can work from there, moving forward with your exhale, releasing down. Maybe not this class, but maybe next time you take this class. Beautiful. Come on up. And then again, push up into that runner's lunge. And then come on up with your blocks into a wide-legged stand. And now we're simply folding forward. And now you can see here the blocks are wonderful because it helps us again with integrity to get into that wide-legged stance. And you can move back and forth a little bit, open your hips. And now you can do one of two things. You can either release the blocks down, maybe your hands, maybe eventually your elbows. But you can also move the blocks forward, and that changes the stretch a little bit. Feels really, really good. Now you're getting a little bit of a back stretch in this as well. Perfect. So find any pose that feels good to you. Hang out here for a few times and notice again how you can lengthen with the inhale and then lower down a little bit more with the exhale, mixing up my breathing. And eventually maybe your elbows come to the mat, maybe your forehead. But take your time, be patient, because that's what the blocks are for. Perfect. Push up, maybe even bring them to the highest height. Heel toe, your feet together. Perfect. And come all the way up with your blocks. Let's do the other side. Come to the front of your mat. Inhale your arms up with your blocks. Exhale, fold. And you know what's coming. Step your left leg back into that runner's lunge. Beautiful. Just hang out here. And again, notice, how does this side feel? We're not symmetrical, so it might feel different. And again, try whatever height feels good. Step your back foot forward just a little, and then move into that pyramid pose. And again, really use your breathing. The secret in yoga is your breathing. If you hold your breath, you're going to feel more tight. So inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold and release. Find your comfort level. Bring that right hip back a little bit. Keep that good integrity in your back and really feel that stretch in your hamstring. Gorgeous. That's great. And keep breathing. Breathing is your friend. And now, bring that right block maybe to medium height. Put your right hand on it. Bring your left heel down. And we're moving again, opening up into triangle. So here again, you can see how I'm maintaining a straight line. I'm not rounding. It's a nice straight line. So I can use the block here. Shoot the arm up to the sky. Look to the sky or down. And then with my breathing, I can lower down and really feel that nice opening here on the left, but also on the right. And I can go down a little bit more. And you see how that changes the pose. And with practice, you can come all the way down to the mat. Good. Come on up. Grab your blocks. Bend your back knee. Bring your back leg down. And again, we're going to go into a little twist. So bring your right arm up, and you can stay like this for a little more intensity. Straighten your left leg. And then twist open to the sky. Open your chest, your heart up to the sky. Beautiful. And come back down. Grab your blocks. Bring your right foot to the outside of the mat. Blocks inside. Maybe medium height. Bring your elbows down. Actually, that's lowest height. And then just hang out here. You can let your head go or look up. And breathe, and again, lengthen, lower down, and see if maybe on this side you can get to the mat. Maybe not yet. Maybe next class, next time you take this class. Take another few deep breaths here. Really relax your face. If you can smile just a little, you're at the right level of yoga. And then grab your blocks, push yourself up gently. The transitions are important too, and you can use the blocks for that. That's really cool. Bring your leg inside, and we're moving into this mini half split. And again, use your blocks however you see fit. Maybe you're here. Pull that foot back. Now really flex that foot. That's going to help you open up the hamstring and bring that right hip a little bit back. Or maybe you're moving forward a little bit. Gorgeous. And take a couple of breaths. Don't hold your breath. Remember, breathing is your friend. Good. Come forward. Push up into that runner's lunge. And now use your strength, your momentum. Come on up. Inhale and release your hands down. Beautiful. Step to the side. We're going to go and do a couple of poses on the mat. We're going to start with something that's actually pretty hard for most of us, which is yogi squat. So yogi squat requires a lot of hip flexibility, but with blocks we can cheat a little bit and work on our flexibility until we can do it without. So yogi squat, you have your your feet a little wider than hip width. I prefer it a little bit wider. I have tight hips. Maybe, flare your feet out just a little bit, but not too much. And then you lower down just like in a squat. Yeah, some of you might be able to do this, and then push your elbows into your knees and bring your hands into prayer. However, if you're a little tight, you're still working on this. All right, just grab a block, sit on your block. Perfect. Now you can actually open the hips, the insides of your legs, and practice that and get that flexibility. Bring your back up, nice straight back again. And then maybe you try a little bit lower. Try that. And eventually, if you practice this, you can do this without the support all the way. Yeah, my hips are not naturally flexible, and this is just a matter of practice. Okay, cool. Good. And now I want to show you another pose that's considered pretty difficult, but again, an amazing hip opener. And hip openers are so important. We spend so much time seated, driving, sitting for work, and so on. So our hips tend to get really tight. So hip openers, and we hold a lot of tension and emotion in our hips. So hip openers are really a beautiful way to help your body. So cow pose, Gomukhasana. Bring your right leg in front of your left, knees touching. So this might already be hard for some of you. And I ran yesterday, so I can definitely feel that tightness in my hips. Okay, so you might stay here and maybe just do some cat and cow and use your blocks. See how your blocks help you here? So maybe you feel like, okay, I can sit down, and you sit on a block and maintain that nice integrity, knee over knee, knees touching, your feet out, and you can even use your hands to pull your feet out a little bit. Okay, you might feel this a lot. And maybe you can move forward a little bit. Use your trusty block. You can even put your hands up on the block, no problem. And then lower it down. And maybe as you work on this, you can remove the block and sit on all four sits bones. So you want to have both sides of your butt on the mat. And now you might feel this, and you're like, "Ooh, this is a lot." And now you can move forward. You can move to the side a little bit, changes it to one side, to this side, but mainly see what happens when you fold forward. And you can use your blocks here to help you with that. And breathe. This is a tough posture. So just breathe and relax every part of your body that you don't need for this pose. Now, this is the art of yoga, and blocks can really help you with this because you don't have to strain. Let's change sides. Come on up. use your blocks for support and just switch your legs. So bring your left in front of your right, and maybe you start here. Now warm up a little bit. Cat and cow in this, see how it feels. Maybe hang out here, continue. Maybe sit on a block. Nice. And then maybe bring it forward, and you'll notice that one hip is tighter than the other. Now we're not symmetrical. So again, the blocks can really help you get deeper, especially on the side that's maybe not as comfortable. And then, if you're at this point where you can remove the block, make sure that both butt cheeks are nicely on the mat. And then you can use your blocks to stretch forward. Breathe, my friends. Always breathe. Never forget to breathe. Good. And take a couple more breaths in. You can bring your hands to the floor, but why not use the blocks if you're working on opening without tensing, without going into this, right? We don't want that. We want to have a nice smile on our face and gently help our body to open up rather than jamming it into a pose. Beautiful. Come on up, and let's come to a lying pose. We'll do a couple of poses lying down because there's some great stretches with your blocks here as well. So the first one, we're just going to open our chest up a little bit and work on spine flexibility. So roll on down gently. Again, make your transitions gentle. Perfect. Bring your feet so close to your glutes that your fingertips can touch them. I don't know if you can see that with the block here. And then press your feet into the mat, press your hands into the mat, have your block nearby, one of them, and then push up, lift your hips up. You can already see I'm working on that nice integrity here again. Hip is tilted forward, pelvis tilted forward, and then just slide a block under any height. It can be lowest, medium, and if you want a big stretch, hey, you can do it at the highest height. And look at this. This is really nice. Opener, clasp your hands. So if you already have good spine flexibility, this feels really nice. And you know what? Try straightening one leg. Ooh, nice hip flexor. And you can do that at any height. You'll feel it. Bring it back. Try straightening the other leg. And I'll show you what that looks like on medium height, which is a comfortable height for most people. Yeah, so nice stretch in your hip flexor. Just hang out here for a moment. To the right side again. Take a couple of breaths into that. So if you're sitting a lot, if you're a runner, your hip flexors are likely tight, and this is good. Switch sides. Left side. And let yourself melt onto the block. You want to have it right under your sacrum, so if it pinches anywhere, you might have to move it down a little bit. You don't want it in your lower back. Beautiful. Couple more breaths in and out here. And bros, legs together. Lift up a little bit. Squeeze your glutes. Slide that block under, away. Gorgeous. Okay, and now I'm going to show you one of my favorite poses ever. It is also a great pose for all of us who are sitting a lot. We have that hunchback a little bit, that rounding. This is the counter pose. So if you're meditating or if you're resting a little bit in the morning or the evening, just do 5 or so minutes of this and it'll do wonders. Supported fish pose is the name. Put one block, medium height, roughly sort of where for women where the sports bra ends. It's sort of where your shoulder blades end. You don't want it in your lower back. So if you look at me here, I hope you can see that. You see it's really on my upper back. It's not the lower back that's stretching so much. Okay. And then you put the second block under your head, any height that feels comfortable. So maybe you do it a little bit higher. Very comfortable. And then bring your arms out. The closer, the less of a stretch, or I should say, the further open, I'm kind of limited by the fireplace here, the more of a stretch you get in your chest. So kind of find something that's comfortable and just let yourself melt onto the blocks here. Close your eyes if that feels good. And just notice the effect of this class on your body, your mind, your breathing. Take another nice deep breath in. Let yourself get heavy here on the blocks. Give your nervous system just this moment of rest before you get back to your day. All right. And with your elbows, come on up. Come into a seated position. There's obviously much more you can do with blocks, but here's a nice simple routine that will really help you open up these big tight muscle groups like hamstrings, hips, chest and shoulders, and really set you up for a good yoga practice. Thanks for joining.